Welcome back to another brand new video. I'm Andrea.
Brandon.
So a little background information. Sterling, we found out we had Sterling. I'm sorry. We found out we had Stella. I can't get my kids straight. We found out we had Stella on the way.
We went back to back, y'all. Okay, as close as you can get back to back.
Yes. You go ahead there. Take it from here.
In today's video, we're going to be sharing our top 7 tips for having 2 under 2. We found out that we were expecting Stella 3 months after Sterling. They're 364 days apart. So we feel like we've learned a little bit in a very short period of time. So we definitely wanted to share some of the things that that have helped us out and that we kind of rely on with managing the chaos.
Yes.
Yeah.
Our number 7 tip is to get gates, a high chair, and something to set your baby in while you're, handling 2 kids. It was just difficult to carry them both down the stairs at the same time. So, Sterling, he could walk, so it was easy to keep him within the gate or put him in his high chair with a snack while I change Stella, so, I'm not distracted and he's not in a dangerous situation while I'm, with Stella.
Sterling was, just getting the hang of walking, and you have Stella, so it's had to have been, really hectic, trying to keep him out of danger and, manage Stella. So our number 6 tip, prepare your home ahead of time as much as you possibly can.
Okay, so we know there are growing families, and a lot of people are in a situation where they can move out of their home that they're currently in to accommodate for another room. So if you can do that and you're in that situation, try and make sure your babies have opposite rooms on, across from each other or downstairs, one upstairs, whatever you can, because when it comes to nap time and getting them into routine, you don't want the other one waking the other one up. With us, we do not have opposite side of the rooms. They sleep right next door to each other. So
right. So they both have their own rooms, which is nice, but there's only a wall in between. So, if Sterling's, yelling, making noise or anything like that, and still asleep, she can hear that. So that's definitely something that we kind of struggle with. But if you can, definitely consider that. You definitely want to be able to have them sleep on opposite sides of the house or different levels if possible.
Our number 5 tip is our relationship. So it's really stressful on a relationship when you do have 2 under 2, because now your time is, gone again.
Yeah.
So in a different way. You're being basically stretched thin. And
the kids can be very demanding, obviously. So just having a strong foundation and a strong sense of teamwork in the relationship is crucial. Communication, patience,
and going on date nights, lots of date nights,
and still taking time for yourselves as much as possible. Huge tip.
I was gonna say we don't take date nights, not very often, anyways. But we pretty much have a date night every night where we just wind down and talk and connect and maybe have a little sippity sip.
Right.
20 sippity sips, depending on what kind of day it was with the kids.
Right.
So, it's just important to still have that, remember why you were in this together to begin with. So.
Definitely. You're going to put the most work in up front, in the first 6-8 months when you're trying to establish routine, sleep training, all sorts of things like that. So you're not going to have, quite as much time The sleep schedule is going to be inconsistent and things like that. But I promise, if you stick with it, after the first 6 months, you'll definitely see a change in baby, and things will start to get a little bit easier.
Right.
Our number 4 tip: definitely starting a cleaning routine. It's incredible how fast the toys and just the mess, the bottles and everything like that will start to pile up on you. So definitely plan.
If you want to see a sample of our cleaning routine, it's definitely for a stay-at-home mom or dad. And you would modify it, obviously based on what you can do in the amount of time you can do. Right now, our goal with us both working is to just do 30 minutes to an hour a day. So that's as simple as maybe just cleaning the counters off at night if that's all we have time to do. But one thing we always make sure we do is start the dishwasher at night. That way, in the morning before we go to work, we're just unloading the dishwasher. That, right there, just helps a ton, especially when there's so many dirty bottles. But that we also make sure that we do in the morning, or directly when we get home. We didn't have time the night before. So just try and make it as simple as you can for yourself. But the point of having a cleaning routine is you don't want to be cleaning while your kids are up and about. You want that time to spend with them and to enjoy with them.
I'm glad that Andrea came up with the cleaning routine, because one of the things we were noticing is that we were constantly spending time cleaning the same stuff.
Our third tip is huge, and it's called block scheduling. If you haven't heard of block scheduling, I actually stole this tip from Jordan Page. She doesn't have it as a tip for 2 Under 2, but this tip in being productive, because that was my goal in 2019, was to be as productive as possible. So go to her channel and look at her detailed video on block scheduling. But for me, I did customize it to myself and what my kids were doing. But you basically live your life in blocks, and you don't stress about the things that you didn't get done in that block, like whether it's prepping the baby bottles or grocery shopping, going to the park, any of that. You're just not stressing about it.
For our number 2 tip, creating a routine. Super important. Without our routine, I probably would have pulled my hair out 8 months ago when we had Stella. Trying to have the kids do as much together as possible when it comes to feeding, nap time, bath time, playtime, everything. It not only is helpful for them to interact with each other, but also it kind of sets a level of expectation for the kids as well. So when they get up in the morning, they're typically both up at the same time, eat at the same time. Try to have them play together as much as possible. Now that Stella's able to, crawl and interact a little bit more, and then bath time and then bedtime as well. We have been able to use that routine to get to a point where we can put them down at the same time, pretty much. Which took a while, but it's definitely paying off.
In the early stages, if your baby isn't catching on to your routine, don't stress about it. Just keep doing the same things at the same time every day. The bath, the eating, as much as you can, because Stella was sick and it was hard sometimes to feed her at the same time.
Yeah.
All the time. But for the most part, just keep being consistent, because even if it isn't working right away, it will pay off later on.
Big time. It's
guaranteed.
It's a work in progress, but you start to see the progress in just being disciplined and sticking to the routine as best as possible.
Also, what's really important is to always get out of the house every day if you can. I mean, obviously there's some days we stay in and just do some educational things, but I think just getting them out into nature and having them connect with their environment is stimulating for their mind, stimulating for their growth. And they'll drive you crazy a lot less when they're out and about and, you know, distracted about what's going on in the world. So.
Yes, get the kids out of the house to the park. We do an indoor fun park that's in the area. You know, they have, you know, all this energy pent up, so definitely get them out so they can have some fun.
If you guys are still with us through this long video, congratulations. We really appreciate you sticking with us this long. So our number one tip is pink noise. Use pink noise. When we discovered this, it became just our all too secret. I mean, we use it even, I use it to even sleep myself.
Yeah.
Because he snores. For instance, your kids sleep right next door to each other. Use white noise. It will help them not wake up if the other one's making noise or wakes up crying. The other one will stay asleep and finish their nap. We use it just to calm our babies. You know, it's in the car.
It's literally our number one go-to, and it because it's so effective. It like you said, it immediately puts them in just a calm state. Yeah, it gets their attention. If Stella's just crying uncontrollably or anything like that, we can turn on some white noise or some pink noise. If you're unfamiliar to what pink noise is, it's a sound frequency. You and I would think of it as static, but it is a sound that mimics the womb, the noises that are made in the womb. And it's been scientifically proven to keep your baby sleeping longer and go to sleep faster. Yeah. And it works every time. Worked on me.
It only doesn't work if the baby's hungry, which is understandable. Nothing works with me when I'm hungry.
Right. So there's pink noise machines that you can buy from the store or online. Just go on Amazon or hit Google. But
we're actually going to have one on our store very soon. StellaBeginnings.shop.
Yeah, check that out.
So for, I would say, 6 months, we were rocking Sterling in the closet with the lights out, trying everything to get him to sleep.
Golly.
Babe, what was all the crazy things we were doing before we discovered pink noise?
Right.
Like, if you have a baby that never sleeps, does not sleep, make sure you turn up the pink noise. Like, you can't have it on this quiet sound. A lot of people are like, oh my God, it must ruin the baby's ear. No, it calms them. Right. It does not ruin their hearing. They can hear just fine. They just had their hearing test. Yeah. And it was months after they were born and using the pink noise.
If you take anything away from today's video, definitely get you some
pink noise should be your number one.
Thank you guys for checking out the video. These are our top 7 tips on having 2 under 2. Please, any feedback, comments, definitely comment below. If you like the content, don't forget to pound the like button.
Subscribe channel, thank you.
Definitely. And we'll continue to keep bringing more content to you guys. Hit the notification bell so you can stay up to date.
Alexa, we weren't talking to you.
Sorry, I thought I heard my name.
So she's listening.
She sure is listening.
Always listening. Every drop of the